Hello and welcome to the Lightning Zone. We are very excited today for our first Lightning review, which is us looking at movies. Now, the story code looks at movies in two ways. We look at a story signature and an emotional signature. The story signature is basically all the structural elements of that story that we map out on the story cone that Amy has there already on her board. And the emotional signature is what the movie feels like. It's kind of what it sounds like. So I'm gonna turn the time over to Amy to map out the story signature for Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
So this is going to be a real down and dirty, really quick representation of Honor Among Thieves on the story cone. And so stick with me, and always you can take our courses if you want to know more. So we have a primary actor. This is Edgen, our wayward Harper. And Edgen as our central viewpoint character here. He's our eyes and ears into the story. And then, well, here in the center we have the inciting incident or initial equilibrium disruptor. This is where Edgen instigates that escape with Holga from the prison. That puts him, well, you know what? We're kind of feeling he's a norm breaker, but what is he up against? Ultimately, we've got several things going on. At the beginning, kind of backstory, we've got his wife's death and everything. That would be over here that leads into that IED. But up on top, we would say, well, here is Forge with his, he's the puppet king of somebody that's more power than him. This is Sophina. And then, well, I'll come to the next part, but we've got, see, Sophina is kind of in charge of Forge, but Sophina actually has Thay as an ally. Forge, the puppet king, guess who is his ally at the beginning? It is Edgen's daughter, Kira. We're going to be right here in the center. We would look at safe characters. We didn't really see safe characters within this, except maybe in the backstory, Holga helping out Edgen when he's trying to, he's a drunk, and she pulls it out. Here we've got primary noise and chaos. Now this is a critical part of the story cone where we say, hey, what are they up against? What's that try-fail cycle that they have to go through that Edgen has to overcome in order to, until we can get to the hero moment. And we find, oh my goodness, this is very much a melodramatic story where we know black and white. We know Sophina, here is system, she's also coming down as the primary noise and chaos. This means she's very powerful and she's willing to come down and not leave it to the underlings, which usually in stories it's the underlings that, you know, our normbreaker can win over because they're not as good as the big bad. You know, they have to fight Thembercloud, Chad, I don't know how to say his name, the big red dragon. They've got these other little things happening on, but you know what? After Sophina with Forge as the primary noise and chaos, you know, we also get Edgen. He is in on his own noise and chaos. He is a own worst enemy in a lot of instances. And that's where we have the solid line with Sophina. This is where we'd have a broken line, not the same. But guess what? We have a solid line right there. He starts his own story. We feel a little edgy about that. We see just this 1, 2, 3 that's all wrapped in the hero moment. And so we would say, basically, I'd say the team under Edgen's plan, okay? Because he had the plan. He was the planner. And then we get this little surprise. So Kira here, she realizes, or, you know, it's open, her eyes are open. She realizes Forge is not really her protector. And she sides down here with the team. And then guess what? She comes up in this beautiful moment as a comic hero with the anti-magic amulet. And she puts the invisibility amulet. And so with that amulet, she puts the anti-magic bracelet on Sophina. So when everybody follows the plan, freezes fakely, and Sophina casts that spell, then they are able to have that wonderful hero moment where Sophina is taken down. But Holga is down. She's been hit. And I don't know that we've seen what actually happened other than, you know,
Got a dagger in her breast.
yeah,
Yeah.
the dagger. And guess what? We have that lovely moment where Edgin comes in with the amulet and
Yeah.
resurrects.
With the tablet of
Oh,
reclamation.
thank you. This is the moment where Edgin comes in with the tablet of reawakening. And the only thing that can, surprise, surprise, the magic of the tablet that can trump the Thayan's magic and resurrect Holga. And so
Yes,
actually,
well,
this is,
that's actually like a system coming down,
yes.
right? A
So
shield.
this
We
is
call
what
that
we
a shield.
do. It's a transcendental shield. This is where we come down. This flips the cone upside down. This power is granted to Edgin. He's able to, guess what? This is where we say, did Edgin win? Yes, he did. And as hero, our team won. Forge lost. Sophina lost. Magic won. And sorry, kind of covered up our audience arc there. But we as audience in our world, we win. And this is where we've got, I would say we have traditional heroes for the team. We've got a comic hero for Kira and a traditional hero for Edgin.
And I would say slash rogue hero because
Oh, yes, yes.
yeah. I would say this is a drama. The win in the audience, the loss in the system, and the win in the hero and the primary norm breaker is the same pattern for a satire as it is for a drama. But with a drama, we have a traditional self-sacrificing hero. And with a satire, you have your anti-heroes, your rogue heroes that are self-serving. Well, this El Edgen is mostly a traditional hero, but where he starts the story, he's heavily in his own noise and chaos, and his roguish ways and his like duplicity, like he pretends to be, different things. Is he a thief? Is he a good guy? Whatever. Gives this a real blend with satire. So I think overall it's definitely a drama, but it definitely has satiric blendings in there, in a delightful, roguish sort of way. Well, so this is what we call a story signature, but the emotional signature we want to know, especially for the target audience. Amy and I aren't necessarily the target audience for this movie. I think Amy's played Dungeons and Dragons once. I've never played it. So we've invited in a couple of people that we think are the target audience for this movie, people who love Dungeons and Dragons.
So I've only been playing Dungeons and Dragons off and on since 2015.
Yeah.
I've always been interested in it. Personally, I'm a avid video gamer. I've been a video gamer for over 30 years now, but it maybe as I've gotten older, or how technology has evolved, where everything has gone to online, having that in-person experience with other people, sharing the exact same experience with other people in the same room, that's a lot more intimate for me. Kind of drew me towards D&D.
Yeah. So, Will, what's your experience? Yes.
So I've been playing D&D since I was a little kid. My dad actually introduced it to me when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I kind of picked it up for the first time, and it was a great time.
Austin, what hopes did you have for Honor Among Thieves?
Hesitant to go see it opening day. I wanted to, but watching it, it was a pleasant surprise. It was not, to my opinion, it's not the first form of media in a TV show or a movie adaptation of D&D that did D&D justice. I honestly think that that title goes to The Legend of Vox Machina. I believe anybody who loves that movie should go watch that show. It's not for kids. Watching the movie, I felt like there was a lot more respect to the people who played D&D. But at the end of it, I mean, I'll be honest, I was thirsting for more.
That's, yeah, Will?
Okay, so I have a little bit of a different opinion after having played for so long. I actually feel like the movie used a lot of the tropes that I've seen and used it really cookie cutter like and didn't depart from something that I would have expected to have from a movie. And I did like some of the Easter eggs that were in there, like Baldur's Gate, or specifically like a lot of these very fun things that were there. However, I would have liked to see a little bit more of a imaginative and different sort of a storytelling way, because a lot of it, they had the staff of hither and thither, and just a lot of the tropes that, once you start playing for a long time, you start seeing patterns in these games, and they really didn't depart from that or do anything, I guess, kind of different than even the original. I would say that it was a lot better than the first Dungeons and Dragons movie for sure. A lot better.
So, would you recommend that people go see it? And what type of people would you recommend see it?
I would definitely recommend that people that maybe have not played before or are brand new players go watch it to get a good idea of what you could maybe expect in a campaign.
For this movie, I would say watch it twice. Watch it as a movie, face value. It's like I said, it's a very quick, it's an easy, fun movie. Then I would recommend to go play just a one shot. A one shot's just you sit down for this one time. It could be 4 hours, it could be 6 hours, it could be an hour long, and you play a story. Then go back and watch the movie again and try to think when you watch these characters, these actors, they're kind of a surrogate of people playing them at the table, and it'll change your mind. Like, oh, they could have done this better, or oh, this was amazing. That's why I talk about that banter, because that's been done before in real life. So that clicked with me really good.
Thanks, you guys, so much. I was just like, Amy, we can't get on and talk about this movie. We don't know anything about D&D, and it just would have been so lame without this conversation. So thank you so, so much.